It begins with a sound that splits the night in two. The shrill, electronic ring of a phone slicing through the silence just after midnight. You remember the moment in fragmented, vivid detail. The cold, blue light of the screen illuminating the darkness like a flare, painting your face in its surreal glow. In that first, suspended second, your mind struggles to process the news. A voice on the other end, serious, measured, delivers words you can never unhear. There's been an accident, a sudden, unexplainable collapse. Someone you love is gone. In those first moments, grief is a physical force. It crashes in, raw and violent. Your heart hammers against your ribs, your mind races, and the world outside, the passing cars, the sleeping neighbors, feels impossibly distant, as if it belongs to another reality. Guilt often follows, a bitter companion. You replay your last conversation, searching for missed signs, for words left unsaid. This is the night of the call, the night your life is forever divided into before and after. But what if the next call doesn't come from a hospital or from a police officer? What if it comes from somewhere else entirely? A place beyond the static, an abyss that has learned how to dial. For Lena, that call came at 2:47 in the morning. Her phone didn't just ring, it vibrated so fiercely that it jumped on the nightstand, flooding the room with that same cold blue light. She woke in a sweat, her heart pounding. It had only been a week since her mother had passed away from cancer, and Lena still hadn't found the strength to delete her number. But this wasn't her mother's number. On the screen, a new contact had appeared, Mom +1. The profile picture was a blurry photo of her mother standing by a window, but her eyes were black, empty voids, as if they'd been burned out from the inside. With a trembling hand, Lena answered. The line was filled with an endless wet ringing, like a sound bubbling up from deep underground. Then, silence. And then, a voice, her own voice, twisted into the rasp of a dying woman. "Don't answer," it wheezed. "It's already inside." Lena gasped. "Mom, is that you?" But the voice continued, a gurgling sound now welling up in its throat. "It can hear you. Lock the door." The line went dead, leaving only the sound of her own breathing, ragged and shallow, like a person drowning in the dark. 47 seconds later, the phone rang again. Mom +1. The vibration seemed to resonate in her bones. The screen, which she hadn't dropped, was now fractured with a spiderweb of cracks. Lena remembered the warning, her own voice begging her not to pick up. She swiped to decline, but the call immediately returned, this time with a notification. "Mom knows you're alone." On the third try, she ripped the SIM card from its slot and powered the phone down. But it flared to life again, the cracked screen now glowing a violent, pulsing red. The words burned in the darkness. "Pick up the phone." Panic seized her. Lena scrambled to lock her bedroom door, fumbling for the light switch. In the sudden glare, she caught her reflection in the mirror, her face a pale mask of terror. And behind her, in the hallway, a shadow moved. A sharp scraping sound echoed from the wall next to her bed. 1, 2, 3, like fingernails dragging through plaster. The phone began to speak on its own, its speaker crackling with static. It was her mother's voice, but broken and distorted. "Daughter, it's in your blood. I tried to leave, but it brought me back." Lena screamed and hurled the phone against the far wall. It shattered, but from the broken screen, a thin, black slime began to ooze, carrying the foul stench of decay and antiseptic. The next morning, a friend found Lena huddled in a corner, rocking back and forth, her eyes wide with a horror that had not faded with dawn. The apartment was pristine. The phone sat on the nightstand, brand new, without a single scratch. But in her contacts, there was a new entry, Mom +1, with a missed call logged at 2:47 a.m. Lena told her friend everything, her voice a raw whisper. She was warning me. The friend stayed until nightfall, but left, unsettled. When she returned with the police the next morning, Lena was gone. The only things left behind were a small puddle of black, viscous fluid on the floor and a shattered phone screen displaying a single, chilling image. Lena, staring into the camera, while behind her stood the figure of her mother, her face a perfect copy of Lena's, her eyes an endless, consuming darkness. They say the +1 isn't a country code. It's not a glitch in the system. It's a legend, whispered in the dark corners of the internet, a modern ghost story for an age of constant connection. It is the final minute you will live in hell, just before you die. It is your own voice, calling from beyond the grave, pleading with the ones you love not to make the same mistake. But if you answer, your loved one will return. They won't be alone. They will bring with them the thing that now waits inside of you, every night at 2:47. And it already knows your address.